Hey everybody, Josh RV Nerd here with Bish's RV with a 19 FDS Geo Pro or E Pro, depending on whether you're looking at the Rockwood or the Flagstaff variety. They're the exact same thing in case you weren't aware. I'm going to try doing a better job of making people aware of that here on this channel. And I'm going to begin this video by saying something I don't think anyone's ever heard me say. I'm pretty sure I've never said on camera before. I don't really care for this camper. I don't really care for this camper. That's like the absolute wrong way to begin this video. But if I'm being fair, this, I don't personally see myself in this trailer, but that's the thing. I'm not the one buying it. You may be. So what I want to do here is shoot you straight, give you fair info, and arm you with the information you need to decide whether you like it or not. And I'm going to share some things that are just my opinion as we go, but I will let you know when they're my opinion and not just a stone cold fact. So this is basically a 19 FD Flagstaff Rockwood, or Rockstaff as I might call them from now on. With a kitchen slide. On paper, that's really all it is. It gives us a little bit more destination space when we get there. It creates a couple hiccups for traveling, though, that I think a lot of people would rather not have to deal with. And I've got a couple solutions for those if you hang with me here. This is a now double ASDEL product. Actually, GeoPros always have been, not now. Since the dawn of GeoPro, they've been the one of the very first double ASDEL sidewall campers out there. Factory standard solar. There's a light color palette on the inside of this one to help it open up and feel a little bit bigger. And that's actually one of the cool things about the Murphy bed on this one, where it's got that, I call it simulated cinema seat. It's not a theater sofa, but it does have a couple incliners and a little fold down armrest with a cup holder or two, where if you're stuck inside on a rainy day, you're not going to feel like you're going stir crazy all trapped up inside this thing, and you're not tripping over one another. And we're going to cover all that and a lot more as we go, including taking a look at it with the slide closed in road mode before we step back outside here. All right, so if you are looking at the 19 FDS, it's almost inevitable, I think, that you're also comparing against things like the 20 FBS with a sofa slide and the 19 FD with no slide. And what I really want to do here is showcase, because this is so similar to the 19 FD, where they're different. But first of all, as long as I'm looking over here, good door side window coverage. And notice how your standard windows have the nice roller shades to really block the sun out. But your main entry door at least comes with the slide down privacy shade. Now it does slide down from the top to the bottom, because that's how the supplier installs it in the door when they hand it to Rockstaff, as it were. That is an easy thing. There's just 4 little clips that you flip to flip her around. So if, from what we've seen so far, this is basically the same as the 19 FD Murphy bed, no slide. Where it really starts to change up is right here. I mean, obviously we're carpetless. We are ventless flooring. That's normal stuff. But when I get up here and pivot slowly, so as to not to make you motion sick if I can help it, we see that this one here has a little kitchen slide. Really, it reminds me a lot of like an R-Pod slide, a little kitchen slide that you'd find on something like that, or those Winnebago mini drops. You know, it's a very similar slide situation. And what's interesting about this is, like, all of that woodwork at the bottom below the microwave, that's essentially all fascia. It's helping hide like a wheel well and things like that, because that's where the slide actually stops, is like right below the microwave. The kitchen slide over here, for me, it's a love-hate thing. This is where I get hung up on this model. I like, certainly, the extra space that it provides, and that is absolutely what you're getting in the 19 FDS as compared to the 19 FD. Because in the FD no slide, if you're standing at the kitchen and you're cooking, nobody can walk past you. You have to do that sideways travel trailer 2-step and, oh, hey, yep, sorry there, excuse me there, buddy, or hey, honey, can I scoot past you there? Let me just squeeze past you, buddy. You don't have to do that here. We're going to kick things off here in the kitchen slide with that 12-volt compressor fridge. Now, this is, oh, crap, I forgot the size, 5.7 or 5.3 or something like that cubic foot model. By the way, inside that door, or inside the fridge there, that's actually the TST tire pressure monitoring system that ships with this RV. Standard, by the way. You have tire pressure monitoring, standard on all of your Rockwood and Flagstaff fifth wheels and travel trailers. But the reason they're using that size and not something super big like a lot of brands is so that it doesn't place as much of a strain on the battery, which I think is kind of a smart decision when this is an RV that could be used in limited power scenarios. This is a sealed edge press membrane over here. Nice big square sink. I like how they adopted that versus the tiny little barely wash your hand sink. And back here, the reason I wanted to get you in here is this does have, I think, a little more counter space than people realize in these classic kitchen or galley slides, as they're called. Perfect little appliance space. And wouldn't you know it, they plopped a little pop-up power tower back there, so you got the perfect place for the coffee maker or, I don't know, whatever have you. So moving on from the kitchen, let's talk about body size and things like that. So this RV is interesting. People are going to, how tall is it inside? Well, that depends on who you ask. I'm going to tell you that it has a 6'1" sidewall, but then a 5-inch vault. And someone else is going to tell you it's 6.5 foot tall inside. That's true, and it's not true. Where that's really going to make a difference, what I just described, is when we're standing in the shower. That is why I get so semantical with things sometimes. Up front here, we've got what I'm going to call the simulated cinema seating. It has a pair of kick-out incliners, kind of giving us the function of a theater seat. And where we are viewing currently, this is exactly where the TV is positioned. So this is effectively what the TV gets to see while you're watching it. Notice a little fold-down armrest in there. And, of course, this is a Murphy bed model. But to kind of showcase for you how simple and easy this is, here's some quick sample footage of me putting this sucker up and down. I personally think that Rockwood and Flagstaff do the best Murphy bed systems available out there. They're the simplest, easiest, because the bedding is all in one place. You notice how it's not a bendy bed, it's not a folding mattress. It locks down in place for safety. A little pro tip for you, by the way, when you're putting that jackknife sofa back in the seating position, after you get it about halfway and it V's in place, pull in on the back side. You see how I let go with my left hand and it'll just drop right in place. It's simple and easy. Now, like a lot of RVs, these have a version of the one control command system. But what's kind of cool with Rockwood Flagstaff here, they still maintain just a physical switch panel. They don't force you to go to like a touch screen or anything like that. But if you want to, you can sync to it with your phone via the little, QR code that's available right down there. Now, the TV up top is actually 12 volt because, again, this is something that could be used off-grid. What's interesting is it's still using a integrated DVD player. Rockstaff being one of the only builders still giving us DVD function. Very few are. Little switch to the left of that, by the way, is for the Wi-Fi Ranger. We'll discuss that just a little bit more when we get upstairs. Bluetooth stereo on the left. And on the bottom over here is our charge controller, keeping an eye on the power that's coming in. These run with all frameless windows, by the way, which is why you see the little knob at the bottom of that window. They actually tilt open for airflow, which is kind of cool. Now, a cool thing with Rockstaff, as I keep calling them, anything that is structural or load-bearing that they build in-house, they build with an aluminum cage, meaning that dinette is a welded aluminum cage. It's kind of crazy overbuilt, but that's the way that they do everything. There is, unfortunately, zero storage below it because over here is like our furnace, and on the other side is your water heater and your converter box. So in a small camper like this, especially with a kitchen slide, again, something had to give. Now let's see if I can get my fat butt up here. Now this RV obviously is not toilet TV certified. You can see how everything faces the wrong direction, but I believe that's why the good Lord invented cell phones, so we don't have to miss a moment of our footage, am I right? I know some people watching the big game or something, if they have to slip away, they'll have it playing on their phone. But look at this, a porcelain foot flush stool in this little camper. It's kind of crazy. And there's surprisingly good legroom and stuff around there. Now, if you're a little bit wider than I am, it could pose a problem, but I didn't have any trouble with it. Where I had a little bit of a hiccup is over here in the shower. And this is why I want to be so specific when I talk about the sidewall heights of this. I'm like 6'3". So when I stand in here, my head is stuffed up in that skylight. There's no way around it because the sidewalls are not, even though it has that severely vaulted roof, the sidewalls are not tall enough for me to stand there normally. If that's a deal breaker for you, if you appreciate the fact that we just highlighted that for you, kind of like I just bent down to highlight that nice angle or wraparound curtain door thing, as it were. Make sure you hit that like button or subscribe if you haven't already. Shower miser, water saver system. Let me get this out of the way so you can actually see it. I don't know that Rockwood and Flagstaff were the very first ones to do this, but it sure seems like, once again, they were the trendsetters, and a bunch of other people have jumped on board. What that's going to do for you when you are boondock dry camping, it will basically make it so that when you are taking a shower and waiting for the water to warm up, you're not going to waste a single drop. It's like Maxwell House. It's good to the last drop. I screwed that up, didn't I? Maxwell's house? It almost sounds like that'd be the neighbor from, like, Bobby's World or something like that. Bobby Generic. Bobby's World. Sounds a lot like Gizmo the Mogwai. Gizmo, Bobby. Those were both voiced by Howie Mandel, were they? All right, so flipping around the other way, standing in the shower for you here. We'll say that I'm fully clothed. You don't need to know otherwise. Surprising counter space in this. And that is an adult-sized sink that adult hands can actually fit into. They give you a little spot there to keep your toothbrushes out of the way. And this is Rockwood doing Rockwood things, giving us a full medicine cabinet and a nice size linen cabinet over here. It does wrap around behind where that hanging little towel loop is, but if I get you up here nice and slow, you see that this also has one of those big full-size max air vent fans to really keep the airflow moving. Those are excellent, by the way, if you are camped somewhere where you can't run the air conditioner, but you want to make sure that those frameless windows, which normally don't get good airflow, still have some decent breeze rolling through them. And now a look here in travel and road mode. And what I discovered is the slide out kind of works against us here. I know you're going, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Obviously, it can walk clear back to the bathroom, right? Look at where the kitchen countertop overlaps with the door. So what you can do here, before you close the slide, open that bathroom door up. Now, then you're going to have to do something to, like, tie it open or secure it open or whatever. And then you can maintain traveling access to the bathroom. But otherwise, you lose that ability and you have to pop the slide open. Now remember, this is only a 7-foot wide narrow body camper. It sounds weird to use the phrase wide and narrow in the same sentence, but that is grammatically accurate in this case. I also thought, hey, why not show you the dinette in the sleeper position? And by the way, when you're traveling, I personally really recommend putting that table down, even if you don't put the cushions on top of it. Put the table down, although with this one bracketing against the wall, I guess in retrospect, you probably don't need to do that. So scratch that. Sorry. I was just trying to help you prevent from damaging something. The other thing I was kind of curious about is with the slide closed, can we still use the Murphy bed? Can we make a travel and sleep stop? Is it naptastic? And it's not. It is like 2 inches shy. But basically, it will smash into, if you just drop it, obviously, the slide fascia right there, and it will ding and bang and damage stuff up. So that is really one of the things with this one as compared to the 19FD versus this FDS with the slide. They are very similar floor plans. They have a lot of similar benefits and advantages. This one is going to give us that more open feeling sense when you get to your destination, but it is not as functional when you are traveling to your destination. So which one works better for you? Well, I suppose that's all a matter of how you camp and how you tow. Little before and after movie magic for you right there, kind of like Bewitched, except when I wiggle my nose, all that happens is my mustache just jiggles funny. But wanted to show you outside storage on this one, because small campers and outside storage don't really go hand in hand. And don't get me wrong, this is not a massive chunk of outside storage. But Rockwood, well, Rockstaff doing Rockstaff things, as it were. We need to amend that, I suppose. Every little compartment, every little nook and cranny they can, they do something with it. Notice magnet holdbacks on there. This right here is our biggest chunk of outside storage, and it's actually under the Murphy sofa. And in case you're curious what we're looking at right there, That is the box and the rail mount system for the griddle situation that we'll take a slight peek at over on the door side of the RV. Little side saddle pockets on either side of the RV as well. I threw this big bag, by the way, that has the 30 amp power cord, and notice there's actually, I know I'm giving you the straight down, make you sick view, I'm sorry, the little wheel there for the tongue jack. That is kind of handy if this thing's like parked in a garage or a barn. One or two people, but probably two people with the size of this, can actually just hand truck it around basically and park it where you want it. This is again a double Asdel product where it's Asdel on the inside and outside layers of the wall. That's the way that Geo and E-Pros have always been built. I have misreported some things on this in the past, and my apologies, so I'm going to repeat myself here from some things I've done earlier. This RV measures 7'4" total exterior width, but that is fender flare to fender flare. This RV has a 7-foot wide body, so, or 7-foot narrow body, however you'd like to phrase it. That's something that I've not gotten correct in the past, and hey, I'll never claim to be perfect. I will always acknowledge if I've screwed something up. I've never done it intentionally, and I'm gonna try to keep improving. That's life, baby. That's the adventure, right? Up front here, man, she's good looking. And we are seeing the return of a couple things. Rockwood, Rockstaff, as it were, I'm sorry, is getting some supply chain issues worked out. People have been asking me about that stuff. It is slowly getting better. The healing is beginning. Cargo, or the front tongue mount bike rack is once again now available. Now there may be some stretches where perhaps they run short or something like that, but at the time of this filming, it is currently available, and we are going to have a similar message on something else in just a minute here as we are weaving our way up forward. Under the propane tanks, and notice I said tanks, plural, single axle camper with double propane tanks. That is something that a lot of single axle trailers don't do. That's what's kind of cool about these, where it has, you know, big camper features in a small package. We have a factory 190 watt roof solar package that you can double if you want, and you still maintain a side solar prep point right there. And speaking of solar, check the link in the video description if you're curious about this, or if I forget to put it there, please leave me a note. I'm sorry, I'll get that corrected. This is one of 4 Geo Pro and E-Pro models that is available with their max solar power package, which is like 570 watts of solar, big giant master volt skateboard style battery, 3000 watt like inverter charger combo system. This is one of only 4 models that can physically fit all of that hardware. Now, as mentioned, we're going to take just a quick peek-ish at the griddle situation here. I haven't fully opened everything up, but one of the things this does is it really highlights the fact that Rockwood, Flagstaff, again, I'm going to struggle with that for a long time, sorry, like 12 years of habit I'm trying to break here. They include a very hefty little work table there. Now, the thin box on top is actually the bracket and mounting kit for the griddle itself, but the griddle itself is also free floating, so you don't have to leave it there. Now, a lot of people ask questions like, where's the spare tire on this thing? No way, no spare tire, no sail. The spare tire is actually belly mounted here to keep it out of the way because there is limited capacity in terms of storage. And if you look between the stable step rungs right there, you see this actually also includes a handy little outside sewer hose kind of storage spot right there, which I think is very cool for this little camper. The entry door handle has a programmable deadbolt. So if you do want to go biking, kayaking, you want to go fishing, you want to go bishing, you've got a place there where you can leave your keys in the camper and not have to worry about dropping your keys. If you look behind the rear tire, by the way, you see the propane quick connect coming off the side, the cooker hooker. That little door, by the way, that is like water pump and water filter access. That is not a storage compartment. Now, remember I said we'd come back to something here, talk about something that was lost due to supply chain problems. And I'm sorry if the camera's wobbling all over the place. I'm literally climbing over snowbanks right now. You notice how this doesn't have the normal round ladder on this that goes on the side of the RV. It's got the rectangular tubular kind of ladder here. That is actually a removable ladder, and you get that anytime you option the Pro Rack roof mounting system onto this RV. which is something we haven't been able to get on rock staffs for a little while. Now, these come standard with the bigger tires, like kind of a lift package, which I think a lot of people are going to like because without it, your sewer stuff hangs down awful dangerously low, so you won't have to worry about that here. The belly of these, by the way, is not enclosed. They're just not quite able to do that on these, but the good news is they do have 12-volt tank heaters standard across the board on everything from Rockwood and Flagstaff now, in the way of a fully enclosed travel trailer at least. Now, thankfully, unlike some of these, this roof is not icy. It must have been stored inside the shop until very recently. First of all, we get a good look at the 190-watt roof solar panel package on this. Once again, this is one of only 3 Rockwood and Flagstaff models which is capable of accepting 3 of those panels, or one of only 4 of the models capable of accepting 3 of those panels. Sorry about that. And again, this is the optional Pro Rack cargo roof mount system over here. And when you get that, you also get that different kind of ladder. Now, one of the other things we're looking at on this one, and this is again a supply related issue, is a taller air conditioner. Because one of the things that we're looking at here, you see it is a taller air conditioning unit.
What you doing up there, boy? Get yourself out down there now.
Well, I'm up here. I am up here getting high on trailers. Y'all leave me alone now.
You're going to get yourself hurt. What you going to get?
Well, I'm going to get myself an education in pain.
Well, you can do that inside.
I'm telling you guys, Mark Twain said, find a job you love, you never work another day in your life. This is a sweet place to work. Anywho, normally this would have a low profile air conditioner. There's still a bit of a supply shortage on those. They're putting them on when they can. So what I recommend, if you're looking at one of these, please ask your contact here at Bish's RV, which air conditioner does it have on it, the tall or the short one. Now, the tall one is the highest point on the trailer. I don't know how many extra inches it adds, because when you look at that spec chart in the beginning of my video, that is assuming the intended low profile air conditioner build, which obviously this does not have. So please keep that in mind. We've got the Max Air roof vent cover over here, giving us some nice rainy day airflow. And I tell you what, it's insane the amount of heat that keeps out of the RV. Look at this little picture on the left, submitted by one of my customers. He added the vent. There's a before and after. Look at the temperature on his little heat laser gun. It's crazy the difference that makes. And the antenna. That's our TV and the Wi-Fi Ranger. That is a signal access point that repeats Wi-Fi locally across your campsite. One other last little chicken nugget. What's your favorite barbecue or dipping sauce, by the way? Well, mine's barbecue. Apparently that was on my mind. Never mind. McD's barbecue and nuggets when they're fresh. Oh, the light of heaven feels like it's just sliding down your throat. Anyway, what I was gonna get at is all of the doors on this are key-to-like. So whether it's your main entry door, your deadbolt, or all of the baggage doors, well, you can't see my fingers. One key. Well, one key to rule them all, basically. It's the Highlander of key systems.
There can be only one.
Anyway, funny they got a German guy to play a Scottish guy, I think, in that movie. And then he later became Raiden in the Mortal Kombat movies. Oh my lord, sorry. I'm on my tangents again. I'm getting out of here. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you appreciate the fair way we go look at this stuff, again, even if it's one that I don't love, trying to shoot you straight and be fair with you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and like our video. Leave me a couple notes. How do you feel about this one? I'd love to hear it. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and best wishes from Bish's, everyone.